happy Monday night or Tuesday morning, wherever you are in the world. My name is Melanie Weinberger. I am your founder and host, and I'm really excited to be here today with our early community member, Jordan Suber. Jordan and I have been toying with this idea of him coming on, and we finally are excited to do it today.
So exciting.
So exciting. He's very, very, very inspiring, and a lot of people value his words and the light that he brings to the world every day. And so this is a huge opportunity for anyone watching to witness what it means to be your own hero and to bring your own learnings of triumph out into the world. For anyone who's new to Feel More Good brings you education and experiences that help you feel more good more often. All of our content right now is in this Facebook group. We are getting ready to launch our first events this November, specifically looking at doing some tree planting together. And every week we bring you a live interview, looking at how we can feel more good from all different angles. Okay, so Jordan.
Hello.
Okay, so I'm really excited that you're here. And I want to start by talking about where you've come from and where you are now. So now if anyone were to meet you now, you are just a shining light and you're so positive, you're so empowering. But I discovered in your background that you shared with me that you had a hard childhood growing up.
Yeah, definitely. Who I am now is nowhere close to how I was 5 years ago, especially who I was 20 years ago. And she's talking about, I was born with a high level of lead poisoning, which for most people, they don't really die from that. And luckily, I was okay and still excelled mentally afterwards. And some of the early things that I had growing up, was a broken home, violence, my mom getting beat by my dad. And I had teachers tell me even, I was like in the 7th grade, that I would never do anything in life, not even push a laundry card or push a broom. And from that point afterwards, I was kind of discouraged. And from 12 to 18, the stories would get even worse. That's me too. I was homeless off and on from 12 to 18.
Okay, pause. Homeless off and on from 12 to 18. What is that like? Tell us a little bit more about that. What was a day like at 12 years old?
At 12 years old, I was either trying to find a friend to hang out with, to eat food with them, so I wouldn't starve. I was trying to do some side hustles, make money. I was either sleeping on the bench sometimes, or I was in the boys' home.
Was this in Texas?
This is in Lawrence, Kansas.
Okay.
So this is like the middle of the map. And I literally didn't care too much about nothing else in life. It was like school wasn't important to me besides going there for free breakfast and free lunch. I didn't care about, living life on my own terms and being my best self. I was more focused on trying to survive day to day. That was the biggest thing I had for me. And when I was going through that, I had some spiritual awakenings. I had some epiphanies and people who helped me along the way. But ultimately, it really taught me to become your own hero, to not let life dictate what happens to you. You can always change and become better. And told me back then that I would never want anyone in the whole world to go through what I went through. So I'm super adamant about making sure people are not going to be homeless or have these stigmas that will stuck in the situation they can't get better from.
Tell us about one of the spiritual awakenings you had at that age.
So at one time I was sent to North Carolina. I was 14, and there's 2-week long thing going on at this church. All these prophets are coming by and telling people about themselves and talking about, God and the universe. I'm in the middle of the crowd, and I obviously didn't think God cared about me because I was homeless off and on. I was born with lead poisoning and all this other stuff. And he calls my name out all these people. I believe in God. And sure enough, as soon as it crossed my mind, he picks me out in the middle of the crowd. It's like, I know who you are. You've been through a lot of bad stuff in your life, and right now you have bad grades and you don't care. But I promise you, you'll make a big move in the future. You're going to change the world. And from that point forward, it's like my inspiration. Like, okay, if he believes in me, he called me out of nowhere, I'm going to make more of my life than what I have right now. That's probably one of the biggest thing that had happened to me.
And then from that point forward, what started changing?
I started really caring about becoming my best self and being more mindful. Like, even though I was homeless, I would make sure I had really close friends that can stay with them so I could still go to school and not have to rely on my dad trying to take care of me because he didn't want me there anyways. Or if I wasn't at my friend's house, I was trying to find a way I can still go to school and still do good for myself and learn skills while on the streets or on benches or at my grandma's house every now and then. And every point from that forward, I was all about, what can I do to make sure my tomorrow isn't as bad as my today and yesterday?
Was there a certain practice or mantra that you had during that time that like you would say to yourself every day?
At that time period, I think I would tell myself, like, I just have to believe in myself and learn that self-confidence and really tell myself that every single day is to be better and better. All I have to do is make sure that I stick with it. And like now my mantra is like I'm perfectly perfect. And not saying that we're all perfect. It's more of a sense of like we're perfect the way we are. All imperfections or flaws or everything makes us the way we are. And we have to own that to really live life on our own terms.
Love that.
Thank you.
Your story is really, really, really important. I just want to thank you again for sharing it.
No problem.
Okay, and so then you've now gone on to be, in my opinion, a wild success, and a very impactful, inspiring person. And you've authored 2 books. When did you first get the inspiration to write a book?
So I started this business like 5 years ago. There's a clothing line helping artists make a passive income. They're putting artwork on t-shirts. I would market for them and then give them 95% of the income, and the 5% was used for the business. And I realized, no one cared what I was talking about because I had no content, no one knew who I was. So I started writing a blog every single day, making YouTube videos. And eventually, people loved that so much, it kind of just snowballed into me sharing my life with other people and living by example. And my book came out, I think the first one, Perfectly Perfect, in 2016. And
Perfectly
then,
Perfect.
yeah, Perfectly Perfect, How to Live Your Dream Life was 2016. And
Okay.
then Flawlessly Flawless came out in 2018, and maybe early 2019. And both of those books, the first one is like my story. It's all about teaching people the skill of self-confidence, how to believe in yourself.
So tell me about how to start believing in yourself. Let's say I just failed really big and I feel like I'm not making enough money and I feel like no one understands me or cares about me or something. Where would I begin?
I would have began with taking a deep look at who you are and realizing that any external thing does not dictate who you are as a person. Because we are special the way we are for a reason. What my best is may be different from your best. And your best might be different from somebody else's best. And once we realize that, we get more a liberating thing. Like, okay, I can still become my best self. And maybe today I'm slacking, but tomorrow I can come back even stronger. And once we do that, it becomes super easy because then everything we do is kind of like a add-on to our own lives. Like, do we love doing this? Yes. Okay, awesome. We can keep doing it. So it's not failing no more. All it is learning.
So that's a check-in question. Do I love doing this? And if the answer is yes, you keep doing more of it.
Exactly.
Okay, I love that. So I also want to talk to you. So for everyone watching, Jordan and I had an opportunity to chat a bunch before we got on, and the topic of mental health came up. And Jordan, you were talking to me about specifically in your community, how the context around feeling good up here is not even a topic of conversation. Can we dive into that a little bit?
Oh, most definitely. That's a great question, by the way. And yeah, I'm half black, half white, Native American, and people in the black community talking about mental health. And I think in any community, it's like the biggest stigma. It's like, what? Talking about mental health? I'm not crazy, or I'm not weak, or I'm not bad. I'm good as who I am. and I have that strong presence. I'm an alpha female, I'm an alpha man. But at the same time, that's a bad stigma. Because like in life, we should be working on ourselves financially, mentally, physically, spiritually, all the aspects. If we was lacking in one thing, it was going to transfer to the other stuff we have in life too. So for me, I feel like if we make the discussion about mental health a okay topic that people do automatically as a small talk even, more people be willing to do the same kind of stuff. And then for me, I'm a psychology major, so I want to like change the way we do that on a global scale. When people can go to a mental institution, and they go there and feel like they're at home and feel like they can talk about their feelings and not worry about what people think because we're all doing it anyways.
So let's be the change. How can we now change the dialogue around mental health to make it cool? Make it approachable? I think, like, what are new words we could say or new phrases we could say?
I think people love the word vibe. So, like, how are you vibing today? What's your vibes like? That might, make it less of a mental health thing, more like, oh, I'm feeling good. This is why I'm feeling good. And they can talk about the vibes or the bad vibes even. Because for me, I feel like a lot of people are trying to become their best selves, but they lose sight of the dark side or the ugly side and only focus on the beautiful and light side. So we talk about our vibes on both aspects. It's more a open discussion, like, hey, what's going on with you? How are you doing today? How are your vibes? Are you doing nice, or what can go from there?
And create so what's your vibe? And then it's cool to feel bad, and it's cool to seek help to feel good, or maybe instead of saying that, even the word therapy has a crazy stigma, we could say coaching, or we could say, what else could we say?
Mentorship, coaching, vibes. Maybe we could talk about people saying console, not counseling, but console. Always having a nice one-to-one deep talk. Let's be vulnerable together.
I love that. And I mentioned this earlier, but I just want to share with everyone at Feel More Good that this stigma is not just in the Black community. And you mentioned this; it's in America. And I've done a lot of work in corporate America, specifically bringing in well-being programs and mental health. What the new languaging that me and my business partner discovered there is emotional intelligence.
EQ.
That's where those words came from, because it sounds sexy and like, ooh, brain power. It's not called like support network.
Yeah.
But meantime, a lot of the modalities we're using are in that realm to make you feel good up here.
Empathy.
Yes. Yeah. Empathy is huge. Okay, so I would love for you. So for everyone watching, Jordan has he's been to Tony Robbins events, and then he shared like you've been to 3 others. You've read so many books, you've written books.
Lost count.
And you've distilled out this one exercise that you want to share today to help people live their best life, like now. And I'd love to get into it with you, and let's bring everyone along on this journey. So for everyone watching, we're about to do, it's a 3 or 4 step process. I'm going to let Jordan lead it, but follow along with us, and you'll be able to make hopefully a shift that'll help you feel more good before the show's over.
Oh yeah, you can use this today, right now, in this very moment, and it's super easy to follow along with. So most of you probably heard of Venn diagrams before. And Venn diagram is literally just 3 circles around each other. I'll show you a picture, you know what I'm talking about. So it's like this.
Yeah.
And then in each section, you're going to write down what you enjoy doing. That's the first one. That's one of the most important ones out there. What you like to do, what you love to do. And then the next section you have to the left or to the right would be what you are good at doing. So for me, I'm good at construction, but I don't like doing it that much. I like doing these kind of stuff, or making books. So that's a huge definition to have in there. And the last one is, what does the world value? And you have all 3 of these. They will intersect to the middle point being your best life or being your purpose. And if you have only what you enjoy and what the world value, that's like fulfillment. If you have the world value and what you're good at, that's going to be like your service to the world. And then the last one that intersects with each other on the outside of the middle, it'll be what you're good at and what you're enjoying. That's your passion. So in the middle, you have all three together. So the next step,
what you really enjoy doing, what you're really good at, and what the world values.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Those three main circles that will create your Venn diagram for you.
Okay.
And then the next step, because right now it's kind of a blank canvas. This is where you come in. This is your part to sign. I want you to write down a list for each three of them. What you're good at, what you enjoy doing, and then also what the world values. And write down 5, 10, 20, even 50 things. And once you write down all 50 things, I want you to go back through the list and order them from the top 1 to the top 10 on each category. And then eventually you can match them all together to see which three corresponds to make you best life happen for you right now.
Woo. I love it. Okay, so when you first did this exercise, what did you discover about yourself?
I discovered that I love helping people more than anything else. I'm all about giving service and leading by example. And what I was good at was writing and marketing and making videos and teaching people in a way that was easy to understand. And then what the world values is inspiration and motivation and also marketing. People need to have their businesses and their dreams be able to reach people. And then what I enjoyed doing was those things as well. I love this kind of stuff. I love talking to amazing people like Melanie. I love helping people and doing what I feel like my life purpose is here to do.
Wow. I think this is really, really awesome. Because what you love to do, first of all, that's what Feel More Good is all about, like how it feels to you. So if you're including in your baseline formula for your best life the thing you love doing, that means it's going to feel really good to do that thing. You get to do it all the time, right?
Yeah.
So that is, I get why that's so crucial. And then what the world values, that's the altruism. That's the part where you connect to something greater than yourself.
That's why. Why are you doing that? You're doing it for your family, you're doing it for the world, you're doing it for yourself. Like once you have that outside external thing, it kind of brings you all together to one big best life you can live. And a lot of people get this dogma saying that the best life means they're going to have $1 billion or you're going to travel the world. Yeah, for most people, that's totally true. But for some people, the best life could just be being the best spouse you can be, or being the best parent, or being the best worker, or best anything. And once we have that in our line and love what we're doing, it all becomes so easy and natural that we don't get no more bogged down or discouraged because we can just go with it day after day. Like, I love doing this. This is my life, and I'm making the way I want to make it.
Yeah, I love that. And it really, what you're bringing up is that it's like there's no need to compare. You know, like if you feel good and you've got your life is set up in a stable way and you get to keep doing what you love to do every day, that is the winning formula.
Definitely. It's all about outdoing yourself. No one else. Other people in the world are meant to collab with. We're a competition. No one else is. And then there's one more step left for the whole 3-step plan for you.
Okay.
And I learned this from a Tony Robbins training while it was like 5 years ago. This one made the biggest impact on me of all the things part because it really brings in all stuff together into an actionable plan for you to take right now. So using this Venn diagram of your top 50 things for all 3 things, write down on a scale of 1 to 10, how are you feeling emotionally, physically, financially, spiritually, mentally, and you can add more to it. You can add like how you're with your social life, how are you with your habits, how are you with anything. And for me, I never say 10 for anything because we can always do better. So the highest I ever go is a 9. And from that point, when you grade yourself, it's like a self-reflection. We can actually learn from who you are and self-analyze what you're doing, but also you can change it. Say, hey, if I'm a 5 right now in finances, what can I do to make $1,000 more, $10,000 more? Or if I'm lacking in emotional response to my spouse, my girlfriend, or my friends even, what can I do to make that better, make a better impact, to make it to a 9? And when we do this, it allows us to be the person in charge, not being told what to do.
Yeah, so it brings it back to you being your own hero, and you measure yourself against yourself and no one else.
Exactly.
I need this medicine. I have a constant practice of shifting out of a place of jealousy and into a place of being inspired and grateful for role models. I have this like default, like I see someone who has something I want, I'm like, oh, they're doing it. And what I want to be like is, yeah, thank you for leading the way, and not comparing myself to them. So this tool of self-comparison of your own ranking, that actually feels really motivating, and really safe as well, because it's not about anybody else. It's not about external validation. It's not about what other people think about you. It's just about how you feel about yourself.
Definitely. How do you normally do it now? Like, when that happens to you, what's your first response to like balance it out back to like make sure you're not feeling that like jealousy or that self-loathing of other people?
How do I deal with it? Yeah, so the first thing that happens is I'll notice. If I notice that I get this feeling of like, oh, they have something and I don't, I catch it and I just tell myself, no, like flip it, be inspired and be grateful. And then I sometimes will practice like cheering them on in my head and being grateful. Like, for example, I have a lot of entrepreneurial goals, and I'll cheer them on, and be grateful that this person who's so good is doing so well. Like I see a lot of good people in power with big businesses, and I'm like, you know what? I'm so glad that came to you so quickly because you're going to use it for good. So I practice being grateful. I practice being inspired by them. And honestly, sometimes if I'm having trouble flipping my mind space about it, I'll just unfollow. If it's social media, I'll unfollow this person just because I'm just being honest with myself. Like, I'm not there yet. And so it's better for me to not be exposed right now.
Yeah. But even in life, though, sometimes we unfollow our friends from real life sometimes, too. I think once in a while, that negative energy will rub up on us. So yeah. I think it's amazing what you do. That's super inspiring.
Thank you. Yeah, I think just like you're recommending people do, I am always looking at myself and sort of like polishing the diamond, like there's always going to be rough edges where there's something inside me that can get cleaned up. Okay. Do you have any last things that you want to share with anyone watching? Any last words or a story about your life or message?
The biggest message I want to give you right now is that where you are right now in your life, what's going on, it does not dictate who you are. You can always remake yourself every single day, every single minute, or every single hour. You need no one's approval or permission to live your life the way you want to live it, the love you want to love. Because it's your life. You're the main actor of it. You're the hero of your own life. So embody that. You are all kings and queens. This is your world. We're all in it together, but it starts with you.
You heard it here. You are the hero of your own life. I love that. Maybe that's the title of your third book.
Hey, that's a good idea. Maybe.
All right, Jordan, thank you so much for being on Feel More Good today. And I'd love for you to post links to your books and to anything else that you want to share, projects you want to share with people, content that you have in the comments so everyone can dive more into what you have to offer.
Thank you so much for letting me have me be here. And for a special gift for all you watching this, I'll have a free link down below for my first book, Perfectly Perfect, for audiobook and also for PDF download.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. Thank you for being so generous.
Thanks for having
me. Yeah. Okay. All right. Mwah. Feel more good. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. And we'll see you next time.
Namaste.